The air in the National Hockey League is thick with the scent of desperation and the whispers of impending change, a palpable tension that grips franchises teetering on the edge of glory or despair. Tonight, we turn our gaze to a team caught in this relentless current, a squad whose Stanley Cup aspirations are being held hostage by a glaring, undeniable void. Have you ever felt that chilling sensation, that profound sense of dread, as you watch your favorite team, brimming with potential, slowly unravel because of one critical unaddressed weakness, leaving you to wonder if their championship window is closing before it even truly opened? Does the thought of sacrificing cherished future assets for an immediate, desperate fix fill you with a mix of anxiety and a fierce, unwavering hope? Because right now, in the heart of the Pacific Northwest, the Vancouver Canucks are grappling with precisely that agonizing dilemma, a strategic tightrope walk that could define their season and their future. They're a team with genuine playoff aspirations, a passionate, long-suffering fan base yearning for a taste of ultimate success, and a glaring, cavernous hole down the middle of their lineup, a void so profound, so debilitating, it's pushing them to the brink of a high-stakes trade that could define their season, their immediate future, and perhaps even the trajectory of their franchise for years to come. This isn't just another rumor circulating through the hockey world, a fleeting whisper in the digital ether. This is a deep dive into a situation that has all the hallmarks of a blockbuster in the making, a strategic chess match unfolding before our very eyes, with the fate of two franchises hanging in the balance. The Vancouver Canucks, driven by a brutal combination of injuries and a startling, almost catastrophic lack of production at the crucial center position, have emerged as the leading, most fervent contenders to acquire Pavel Zacha, the versatile two-way forward from the Boston Bruins. It's a move that makes undeniable strategic sense, a tantalizing possibility that could solve Vancouver's most pressing, most debilitating issue, but one that will undoubtedly come at a significant, perhaps even agonizing cost. The question isn't if they'll make a move, but what they're willing to sacrifice to secure their salvation. Let's unpack the growing, almost palpable desperation in Vancouver. The Canucks entered the 2025 to 2026 season with renewed optimism, a sense of hope that this could finally be their year to break through and contend for the Stanley Cup. The roster, on paper, boasts a compelling blend of offensive firepower, defensive solidity, and a goaltending tandem capable of stealing games. They have star power, veteran leadership, and a hunger to win. But as the campaign progresses, as the relentless grind of the NHL season takes its inevitable toll, a critical fundamental weakness has become glaringly, painfully apparent. Their depth at center behind their undisputed number one pivot, the sublime Elias Pettersson. Pettersson, a bona fide superstar, continues to dazzle with his offensive brilliance and exceptional two-way play. He's a wizard with the puck, a dynamic scorer, and a responsible defender, carrying an immense load for the team. But hockey, as we all know, is the ultimate team sport, and even the brightest stars need a robust, reliable supporting cast. The production from their secondary centers has been virtually non-existent, a black hole in the middle of their lineup that is stifling offensive flow, creating defensive liabilities, and forcing Pettersson to shoulder an unsustainable burden. This isn't a new problem, mind you. Oh no, this is a lingering, festering issue that has plagued the organization since the departure of the dynamic JT Miller last season, leaving a gaping, unfillable hole in their top six forward group. Miller, with his unique blend of scoring, physicality, and face-off prowess, was a crucial piece, and his absence has been felt acutely, leaving a void that the Canucks have desperately struggled to fill. The team has tried various solutions, shuffling players around, hoping to strike gold with an internal option. The newly acquired Lukas Reichel, a promising young talent with flashes of brilliance, has been given a shot at the second-line center role, a trial by fire in the deepest part of the pool. However, Reichel, for all his potential, for all his speed and offensive instincts, is widely considered to be much more effective on the wing, where his creativity and ability to attack can truly shine without the constant burden of defensive responsibilities and face-off duties. Forcing him into a center role where he's less comfortable with the defensive responsibilities and face-off duties is a stopgap measure, a temporary bandage on a bleeding wound, not a long-term solution. And it speaks volumes, doesn't it, about the alarming lack of viable natural options within the current roster, highlighting the profound depth issue that threatens to derail their season. The Canucks are in an increasingly desperate, almost untenable position. They are a team with genuine playoff aspirations, a roster capable of competing, but a fundamental flaw, a gaping chasm down the middle that threatens to undermine everything they're trying to build, to shatter their dreams before they even have a chance to take flight. This is where Pavel Zacha enters the conversation, a beacon of hope in a sea of uncertainty. The 28-year-old Czech forward, currently with the Boston Bruins, is precisely the kind of player who could fill that void, who could be the answer to Vancouver's prayers. Zacha is a versatile, reliable two-way center who can contribute offensively, play responsibly in his own end, and provide the kind of stability, experience, and defensive conscience that the Canucks so desperately need behind Pettersson. He's not a superstar. No, he won't be gracing the covers of magazines or leading the league in scoring, but he's a reliable, impactful player who can elevate a second line, provide crucial depth, and perhaps most importantly, allow other players like Reichel to return to their natural, more effective positions. His ability to win faceoffs, kill penalties, and contribute secondary scoring makes him an invaluable asset for any team looking to solidify its middle six and add a layer of dependable performance. Interestingly, Zacha was already a subject of trade speculation during the summer. The Bruins, in their own efforts to quickly retool their roster after a disappointing playoff exit, explored moving him, but nothing materialized before the regular season began. However, according to recent updates from highly respected NHL insider Elliot Friedman and James Murphy of RG, the Canucks' interest in Zacha has not only persisted but intensified, reaching a fever pitch. They are reportedly hot on his trail, a phrase that in the hockey world signals a level of commitment and urgency that cannot be ignored. A league source speaking to RG put it bluntly, cutting through the noise with stark clarity, the Bruins are getting daily calls on these guys and more so on Zacha. I know the Canucks want him badly. When a team is described as wanting a player badly, it signals a level of urgency, a depth of need that often translates into a willingness to pay a premium, to push all their chips to the center of the table to secure their target. Now, let's shift our focus to the other side of this potential deal, the Boston Bruins. While the Canucks are driven by desperation, the Bruins find themselves in a different, yet equally complex predicament. Boston has started the season with a disappointing 4-6 record, looking far from the dominant, suffocating force they've been in recent years. The prospects in Boston are once again looking bleak, and the team appears to be struggling to find its identity in the post-core era, a period of transition that has proven far more challenging than anticipated after the departures of legends like Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci. The once unshakable foundation of their success seems to be cracking, and the pressure is mounting on the front office and coaching staff to right the ship. However, a slow start, no matter how disheartening, does not automatically mean the organization is ready to throw in the towel, to liquidate all its assets and embark on a full-scale rebuild. The Bruins, despite their early struggles, still harbor hopes that their early season difficulties will eventually transform into success, that they can right the ship and contend. The situation from their perspective hasn't completely spiraled out of control, which is precisely why no major changes, including a Zacha trade, have been finalized yet. They are likely waiting, hoping for a turnaround, and assessing the market carefully, trying to maximize the return on their most valuable assets. They understand Zacha's value as a reliable two-way center and won't simply give him away. This creates a delicate balance, a precarious tightrope walk. The Bruins are struggling enough to consider moving pieces, but not so desperate that they'll give away their top trade chip for pennies on the dollar. This is where the Canucks' desperation can paradoxically become their leverage if they play their cards right, if they are bold enough to seize the moment. Vancouver has the opportunity to bypass Boston's waiting period, to force their hand by sweetening the deal, by making an offer that is simply too good for the Bruins to refuse. Specifically, by leveraging some of the promising defensive prospects currently in their system, they could present a package that addresses Boston's long-term needs. Boston, A team that is likely looking to replenish its prospect pool and build for the future would undoubtedly be attracted by high-potential defensive talent, the kind of blue-chip prospects that can form the backbone of a new era. James Murphy, in his recent report for RG, highlighted a key name to watch as these negotiations evolve, a prospect who could be the centerpiece of such a deal, 23-year-old defenseman Victor Mancini. Mancini, a right-shot puck mover, has already shown flashes of being a promising NHL defenseman during his time with both the Canucks and the New York Rangers. While he hasn't definitively solidified his place in the league yet, his potential is undeniable, and his skill set, a right-shot, puck-moving defenseman, is highly coveted across the NHL. For a Bruins team looking to retool, to inject youth and skill into their defensive core, a player like Mancini represents a valuable asset, a piece that could contribute significantly to their future defensive core. Beyond Mancini, two other names are being closely monitored as the Canucks' desperation intensifies. Two other blue liners who could be part of a compelling package, Kilkadriavs and Sawyer. These two defensemen are easily the second and third best defensive prospects in the Canucks organization, trailing only the highly touted Tom Willander. Including Willander in any trade, however, would be a monumental shock, a move that would signal an almost reckless abandonment of their long-term defensive future, a decision that would send shockwaves through the fan base. The Bruins, as they should, will undoubtedly push for Willander as a starting point in any negotiation for Zacha. However, it's far more likely that one of these promising puck-moving defensemen, Kadris or Manet, along with Mancini, would be included in any potential trade package. The strategic chess match here is utterly fascinating. The Canucks are in a bind, needing immediate, impactful help at center. The Bruins are struggling, but not yet in full fire sale mode, holding on to Zacha as their most valuable trade asset. Vancouver's path to acquiring Zacha lies in their willingness to part with future assets, specifically their promising defensive prospects. For the Bruins, acquiring a package of young, promising defensemen would be a significant step towards rebuilding their pipeline and securing their long-term future. Even if it means giving up a valuable veteran in Zacha, it's a calculated risk for both sides, a gamble that could pay massive dividends. The impact of this potential trade on both teams cannot be overstated. For the Canucks, acquiring Zacha would immediately solidify their second-line center position, providing much-needed offensive production, defensive responsibility, and veteran leadership. It would allow Reichel to shift back to his more natural wing position where he can be more effective, and it would take immense pressure off Elias Pettersson, allowing him to focus on his offensive brilliance without constantly worrying about the lack of support down the middle. This move could be the catalyst that propels the Canucks into a legitimate playoff contender, giving them the depth and balance required to compete in the demanding Western Conference. It's the kind of move that transforms a team from good to dangerous, from hopeful to truly formidable. For the Bruins, while losing Zacha would undoubtedly be a blow in the short term, acquiring a package of promising defensive prospects would be a crucial strategic step in their retooling efforts. It would inject young, high-potential talent into their system, providing hope for the future and allowing them to build a new core around their remaining pieces. It's a move that signals a commitment to the long game, a recognition that sometimes you have to take a step back to take two steps forward, a necessary sacrifice for future glory. It's about replenishing the well, ensuring that the next generation of Bruins talent is ready to step up when their window truly reopens. In the high-stakes world of the NHL, where every decision carries immense weight, where the margins between success and failure are razor-thin, the Vancouver Canucks find themselves at a critical juncture. Their desperation for center depth is palpable, a raw, undeniable need. And Pavel Zacha represents the perfect solution, the ideal fit. But to acquire him, they will have to make a difficult, agonizing choice, parting with valuable defensive prospects who represent their future. The Bruins, meanwhile, must weigh their short-term struggles against their long-term vision, deciding whether the allure of young talent outweighs the desire to hold onto a proven veteran. This isn't just a trade, it's a strategic gamble, a defining moment that could reshape the fortunes of two franchises, sending them down entirely different paths. The clock is ticking, the negotiations are intensifying, and the hockey world waits with bated breath to see if the Canucks' desperation will finally lead to a deal that brings Zacha to Vancouver, or if this tantalizing opportunity will slip through their fingers. What are your thoughts on this potential blockbuster? Do you believe Pavel Zacha is truly the missing piece the Canucks desperately need, the player who can ignite their season? And are they right to consider parting with valuable defensive prospects to get him? Or is the price simply too high? Conversely, should the Bruins hold on to Zacha, hoping for a midseason turnaround? Or is it time to embrace the rebuild and maximize their return for a valuable asset? We want to hear your passionate takes, your strategic insights, and your unfiltered opinions in the comments below. And if you're as captivated by the intricate chess match of the NHL's trade market as we are, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis and breaking news. Your engagement helps us bring you more of the content you crave.